A Marine told me the idea of a laptop like this, great. For a Marine to take it into combat or to take it in a deployed situation where he's got an 80-pound rucksack on his back and he's got 40 pounds of body armor and all you want to give him is a 10-pound PC, it ain't going to happen. You don't want it. If you can give him a 12-ounce PDA, maybe it will happen. So it's about getting the information to the place where it's needed. It's about the performance support, which means supporting the performer, back to the learning concept, when the performer needs support. Not all the time, just when he needs it. One of the things we did at Ingrain, which sort of brought this to heart for us, was an issue with the Humvee, the very ubiquitous truck that the Army uses, the military uses. There was an issue with this. The wheel kept falling off, and it fell off under speed, under stress. That was a problem, and they were having difficulty training the option, or training the process that kept that from happening. It happened because a mistake was made that wasn't captured in the training process. So, what we did was develop, kind of instantly, because we had some of the stuff available to us, a quick way for a schoolhouse to train in this specific thing using the 3D model so that the students, the soldiers, who are journeymen or actually beginning mechanics know how to do this. And we got some feedback through the Army about 6 months later, and it said, what are you doing different? The wheels quit falling off the Hummers. So we think that's real significant. The results were in a very short period of time. These people going out to the field, the newest, the youngest, the least experienced, stopped making the most common mistakes, and the wheels quit coming off of that particular deal. So let's talk a little bit about the kinds of things we're doing. Let's see. Peter Drucker said, it's not much of an advance to be able to do the unnecessary 3 times faster than you used to. So we have to make sure that what we're doing is not only better, but it's relevant and better. One of the things we recently did earlier in this year, Ingrain delivered to the United States Army a weapons training system. It has all the common weapons that military uses in combat situations. The reason for doing this was, guess what happens to a new machine gun when it rolls off the assembly line? Where does it go? Does it go to the schoolhouse? It's got to go to the training world. Where does it go? Schoolhouse? It goes on a plane. It goes over there. So there were problems in the schoolhouses with equipment. They didn't have enough of the newest, the latest, and greatest. The best stuff went to the guys who needed it the most, the ones who were firing those ones. So what we did was produce 3D models, interactive 3D models for instructors and for students to use in the classroom, their barracks after class, as preliminary training prereqs when they come in for their training session, to figure out how these things work, to show them, here's how you take apart this weapon. Here's the cycle of operations. It's very important to understand how the bullet goes from the belt to the barrel. There's lots of things happen in there, and they're very crucial because you want that to happen every time you pull that trigger. And if it doesn't, you want to know how to fix it, because there's a very good reason to do that. You should probably figure out what it is. So we did that, and it's had tremendous results for them. The Army had developed for Joint Forces a great new generator. This is their latest and greatest, quietest and lightest tactical generator. Produces 3 kilowatts of electrical power at the front lines. You know, not quite in the foxhole, but almost. But you know what? Because it was so cool, everybody knew how to use it. You walk up to it, you push a button, it's got an electric start. It turns on, you open the gas cap, you pour fuel in it, and it runs. And it just runs forever. So nobody needed to go to an operator training course. And this particular device, which was the latest, greatest, the highest technology, the best, quit working though. To the point that soldiers in the field said, I don't want it, it breaks down all the time. And it turns out the reason it breaks down all the time is if you push the button to start it up and just keep pouring fuel into it, and you never stop it to do those 3 things it needs for preventive maintenance, it breaks. And if you do, it's quiet, it's light, it runs forever, it's great. So we had to teach that. Now the problem with teaching it was, well, they had a course. This was the deployed generator, the one that goes out to the front line. When you get a notice that you're going to Iraq or you're going to Afghanistan, that's what you don't want to do. When you go to Fort Knox for 2 weeks of generator training, how do you work that thing? Push the button, put the fuel in, everything works. I don't need any training, except if you want it to work the second day and third day. So, by doing this, this generator is no longer the dog. put this training course together, they're using it, and because it's interactive 3D, it takes about 40 minutes to go through it to see all the operator things. It's working. The generator is performing better. It's a very small aperture satellite channel, an antenna that's used in forward deployed situations. The Army has stuck this one out in Louisiana, in New Orleans, actually. This is the thing that they use for their communications across the whole intergovernmental task force down there. It's the thing that goes into Afghanistan 3 or 4 years ago. But they're few and far between. These guys are expensive. They come in 4 boxes, and there aren't a whole lot of them out there rolling off the line as quick as they can. If it breaks, it's hard to fix. So since it comes in 4 boxes, how do you put it together? And the answer was, we put together an in-grain training program. It takes about 30 minutes to run. That shows you, here's how you open the box. Here's what you do when you take the things out of the box. Here's how they go together. And actually, the instructors, the owners of this program saw the here's how you open the box with a video of how you twist the latch. Said, they'll stop breaking our latches now. Because you thought, maybe I'd understand that. But that was the first thing they saw. Let's stop breaking the latches, the boxes as soon as possible. And when they put the 2 halves of the 1.2 meters together, they'll seal them right, so it'll work better. So they're doing cost avoidance. They're doing effectiveness here because it can work better, they work longer, they don't need as much training. And as the program office told us, they pay $500,000 for a technician from a contractor to go out, and $500,000 annual pay, annual cost to the Army to have a technician go out to the field and fix these. So if you've got 3 of those guys, it costs you a lot more than if you got 1 of those guys. So quit breaking them, and it won't cost us much. Ingrain is a Canadian company. And one of our first projects was to build models of landmines for the Canadian military. The Canadian Department of National Defense are the lucky guys on the NATO list who get most of the landmine clearing activity. So they have developed a fairly extensive database of landmines because it's important when you go out in the field and see one of these things that you recognize it, that you know this is how it blows up. It blows up when you step on it or when you step off it. It blows up in this direction or in all directions. This is how far away you need to be when you explode it. 50 meters is good, 75 meters is better. It's important to know those things. So by putting these things together onto a PDA, the Canadian military guys are able to put this in their pocket, walk out and see, there's that thing over there, what does it look like? And let me turn this one around so it's oriented the same way so I can see that. And the result is, they're working on 350 separate models. We've done about 150 of them so far, of individual landmines in the NATO, in the Canadian database. And tied together, and now they're able to better recognize these things. And the guys who are disarming, which usually means blowing up these landmines, are safer.